Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Candace Kaufman. So I wanted to just let y'all know a little bit of what I've been up to. So I wanted to get on here and give y'all a little update. So here I am, and I'm in one of my favorite places. Any guesses? It is so beautiful out here. So in August, my boys started school. In September, I was preparing for the Toasty Goat market. So I was doing jewelry and woodwork items, and so that occupied a lot of space in September. So it took me some time to get the boys settled into their routine, their schedule, and then I was getting ready for the Toasty Goat market. And I will insert some photos and videos here. Anyhow, that was pretty much my focus. So September came around, and then October was my birthday month, and I don't feel like I have an excellent excuse. So here we are in November. All right, so guys, it is Golden Week here on my channel, and this is the third Golden Week that I have had on my channel. So the very first Golden Week I had was sometime before my mother passed away. So if you're new to my channel, my mother passed away in 2022. She had cancer. When we first found out my mother had cancer, my brother had come back to the States from Germany, and he was doing a show in Iowa, an opera called Porgy and Bess. And anyways, I went up there one weekend and my mom wasn't well. And so she was actually hospitalized when we were there in Des Moines, Iowa. And we found out there in Des Moines that my mother had cancer. It was such an exciting time to go up and see Michael, my brother, and everything. And this came about when we were there. It's because my mother was in the hospital on the 4th of July of 2022. And it was not an easy time. So anyways, fast forward, we knew my mother was fading. We knew she was gonna transition, but we just did not know exactly when. We knew the time was coming, and I was praying and believing God for breakthrough. I knew that God could heal, and I would also remind my mother that. And then she, in turn, would remind me. One of her favorite chapters in the Bible is Psalm 139. And so I'm just gonna read you which she would remind me. She would remind me that yes, but her days are written in his book. And so Psalm 139, I got my Bible here. Psalm 139 verse 16 reads, "Your eyes saw my substance, being yet unformed, and in your book they all were written, the days fashioned for me, when as yet there were none of them." So here I am, praying, believing God for healing and everything. Yet at the end of the day, nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. She would remind me that her days were written in his book. She was content with the fact that she was going to go to heaven and see Jesus and be with Jesus. And that was tough. That was tough to, she was content. We were not ready for her to go. And so I continued vlogging. I don't know how consistent I was at the time, but I vlogged. That was my way. That was my outlet. So one of the things I vlogged was a bridal shower that my mother had been planning. And if y'all know my mother, if you were around this time, my mother was going and going. She was teaching at the church. She was doing Granny's house until she could not anymore. Anyways, there was a bridal shower, and she had planned so many things, and she could not attend. She was, at that point, she was so not well. She just simply couldn't attend. And so I vlogged because I wanted her to feel as if she was there. And so I remember after the shower, I started busily editing the video, and I was trying so hard to get it posted as quickly as possible because I wanted her to feel like she had been there. And vlogging things, you know, simple things like putting some ornaments on the tree. I wanted her to see and to feel like, you know, she was there. And I just decided to have a golden week. I wanted to just believe God for breakthrough, and I didn't know it was coming. I didn't know when her time was going to be here. So I decided I was going to have a golden week on my channel. So this is the third golden week. The first one was before my mother passed away, and then the next one being last year, and then this one. And this time I know it's November. My mother passed away on November 29th. It was, what, I think 2 days after my mother and father celebrated their 47-year wedding anniversary. Not having my mother at the dinner table on Thanksgiving Day that year. And so anyways, I wanted to give you a little background about Golden Week. So it is the next day. I'm actually back out here in Eagle Bluffs filming. Got my trusty wrap on because it's actually colder than it was yesterday. Yesterday morning, my pastor was talking about how yesterday was a threshold, and I really believe that is significant. I started watching a sermon by Tim Sheets, and I will link that in the description if you'd like to go watch that. And he was talking about giving birth and how Elijah, he got down in the birthing position and he was praying, he was interceding. He was praying that God would send the rain. He was praying for the rain. So I really believe that prophetically it is time to give birth. So Tim Sheets was saying in so many words that it's time to give birth. And I agree with that. I also want to agree with you out there that it's time to give birth spiritually. It's time to give birth to those dreams that God has placed in your heart. It's time to give birth to those things that God wants to do through you, to those ministries, to those dreams that God put there. Some of the things I think about when giving birth, depending on the woman, sometimes you are emotional, and you might cry a lot. Your body is changing, your hormones are changing, and your life is about to change. So my mother, when she gave birth to me, she delivered me with no pain meds and forceps. Yes, I'm gonna let that sink in for a moment. No pain meds and forceps. She did request pain meds at the last minute, and the doctor kindly let her know that it was too late. And I really believe for some of you out there, God is going to send some spiritual forceps to help birth those dreams and visions that God put in you. And I'm just going to tell you what forceps are. Basically, it's an instrument that helps in the delivery process. It helps bring and birth that baby out. But God is going to send some spiritual forceps to help in that delivery process. You're going to give birth. You're going to give birth. That dream, that vision, the ministry, the ministries, they're going to be birthed. You're going to give birth. I want to join with me, believe that we're going to give birth. So make this declaration with me today. My life is about to change forever for the better. And according to Merriam-Webster, the definition of threshold, it is the place or point of entering or beginning. So a threshold is a gate, a door, the place or point of entering, a beginning. So we are at the place or point of entering or beginning. I declare it. It's time to give birth. And I pray this really encouraged your heart, blesses your soul. And shout out to my girl Aisha Keller, who also has a YouTube video. If you need encouragement, check out her channel. And if you stayed this long, let me show you around. This is one of my favorite spots here in the Eagle Bluff Conservation Area. Look at this. So beautiful. This is more of the Eagle Bluffs area. And once again, if you've stayed this long, I had another thought about those spiritual forceps, because sometimes, because the birth canal, it can be kind of scary to descend into that birthing canal. So I'm just praying. So again, those spiritual forceps can help. Maybe there's some resistance because of fear. Maybe there's some resistance because of other reasons. And I'm just really believing God to send some spiritual forceps to help in that delivery process. So again, thank you for visiting my channel. Thank you for watching this video all the way to this point, and I'll see you in my next video.